Hello, adorables. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. It's about 12:30 at night, and I wanted to share some things with you. This is getting really, really intense. First off, let me start with the show that I just watched a little while ago. I watched Big Brother, and that show is really full of symbolism. There's a lot of propaganda in there, and you know that they're actors. They're playing a real contest there, but it's manipulated, okay? Like, have you noticed, have you been seeing them wear a lot of red and black? And the black is the same, it's like jet black. And the red is the same shade of red. Like, how, like, are you dyeing these fabrics for the show? Because I think they are, because they're different materials, but they're the exact same color. And I'm getting sick of it, and watching how the females on the show are, well, they're tearing the guys up. The guys are, they're bitches. They turned into complete bitches, in my honest opinion. It's like you're getting run by these women, getting played. And like the one guy, the girl convinced him to put up his #1 ally. She was on him like constantly. She just wouldn't drop it, wouldn't let it go, constantly hounding him over and over and over again, breaking him down. And when he first got there, I thought, this guy is going to win the game, because he was a smooth talker, manipulating people. And now she is doing that to him. And I'm like, whoa. But the black and red, that's Antifa colors. And black and green, as you can see right here, this is they're mocking Hamas and the United Nations, because it's a joke. It's a fucking joke. So here they are making a joke about it, and it that's how idiotic it all is. Like, how can people believe this shit? So I know that their colors are like green, kind of like an olive green and darker green. And those are some other colors that I was seeing on Big Brother. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding. But you see where people's alliances are on that show when they wear the same colors all the time. Black and red. You would never find me wearing red in the first place. But now, seeing it, like, not even as a fashion statement, I wouldn't do it now. I just wouldn't. But I would still wear black. Anyhow, it's so, if people don't know, then the people who do know, their beliefs are getting reconfirmed every time they see it. That's what propaganda is. Repeat, 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 repeat until the people accept it. And you can't do that to me. I won't take it. I'm not going to be brainwashed. You know? So I resist this stuff. And I want to share that with you, because I'm suspicious, man. I'm the question everything kind of person, you know? Okay, so what I seen here, here's another one of Israel media. You gotta look at the propaganda from other countries. I'm finding it very interesting. So, Israeli media mocks woke liberals supporting Hamas. Do you know what Hamas did? what they're talking about when they say October 7th. They're not going to forget October 7th. On October 7th, Hamas broke through the barricades into Israel, and they massacred over 1,000 people. I don't know, I think maybe thousands. I don't remember the number. Okay, but one girl, they had her in an unnatural position. I think they raped her, and her head was missing. But they have found her head. It took them a while. There was a little baby in his crib. They burnt him alive. There were people all over the place, and they butchered them with machetes. It was the most brutal assault, other than the shit you hear about going on in Mexico. They will not stop. They will not stop. Nobody in Africa likes them. Like the Palestinians, before all of this happened, nobody liked the Palestinians, but Hamas is amongst them, right? Hamas is in there. And Israel will not let them go. And they shouldn't let them go. Because Israel is the only thing stopping them from doing that here. Because the United States, for all practical purposes, is Israel. Okay? And they want to destroy, they want to annihilate, they want to end all Jews. You understand? They're not going to stop. And these are the only people they've got the major problem with. They've got them cornered. And Hamas has the Palestinians above them as they hide out underground. And they're not in a mine shaft. If they're underground, they are in a bunker, like a big one. A big one. There's shit under the ground. If they fit under there. You know what I mean? Like, who knew all that stuff was under the pyramid? How big that was. That's our headquarters now. And they're under there, and they have hostages, and they are using the Palestinians as pawns. And Israel knows that they are not all bad people. Israel isn't going there and ending all of the Palestinians, okay? But the media is going to focus on the fact that the Palestinians are hurting. But it's Hamas that's doing that by being there and using them as a shield, the same way they're intending to use the hostages as a shield because they want to come out of their hole. It's getting too much. And by the way, in a few days, this has not been done for like 500 years. Israel is going to line the walls of the city up with, or I know it's a country, but like I don't know where, but it's going to be around Jerusalem, at least. Yeah, in Jerusalem. They're going to line the walls with men who are going to blow trumpets. And the only time they do this is to announce the presence of God, the arrival of God. The Jews are going to announce the arrival of God. They are going to live stream this all across the world. And you bet your ass I'm going to be watching. You bet your ass I'm going to be listening. And you bet your ass I'm going to be spiritually moved by this. Okay, because they want to end Christ. Christ comes next. God's coming first. So, what else is on here? Oh, I'm watching a lot. I'm just watching a lot as people try to defend Hamas And okay, there was this one, listen, down in Texas. I think it's happened in Florida. I think they're two different places, Florida and Texas, where Islam wants to set up a Muslim-only city. They think they're going to do this here in our country. Muslims only. With Sharia. The government put it down. They're like, oh, hell no. When they caught wind of it, they were like, no. That's why I think there's two. I think one was Florida and one was in Texas. And now there's this guy, Islam. And, okay, at the beginning of the Quran, Muhammad, all this stuff he said, okay, fine. But then some events happened, he moved on, and the second part of the book is like after a whole lot of stuff went down, he had changed, and he's saying all this other stuff, and he's giving out these laws and everything. A lot of people are like, well, if I'm going to believe the book, I'm going to believe the whole book. And so that's where Sharia comes into it. And that's about if a woman gets raped, she goes to prison. Or you don't like your woman anymore, you're done with her for whatever reason. Let's just put her in a frickin' hole and bury her with her head showing. And then I seen a video of it. And they stoned the woman to death. They threw bricks at her and stones until she died. They're not even, right now, in the name of their religion, they're not even allowed to walk around wearing clothes we are wearing. You know, they have to dress a certain way because of their religion and their faith. You know, it's forced upon them. They can't say, hey, today I'm not going. It's not a fashion statement. It's not cultural. It's religious. Well, it's a little bit cultural too. The religion is the culture. But then these extremists, though, who want to keep this law going, Sharia. So there's this Islam guy, and he's protesting at a store. He's trying to intimidate the guy that owns the store to stop selling lottery tickets, stop selling alcohol, and then there was something else. I forget what it was. Because you're not allowed to gamble and drink, you know, under Sharia. This is America, and they want to enforce Sharia in America. So what happens to these governors and these mayors and these fucked up judges? That's another thing in Big Brother. They named their group the Judges. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Are you understanding? You got to watch the show to find out. So if you, and a lot of people watch, so some of you are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. It's in your face. Look how many of them are wearing black and red all throughout the game. I don't even want to talk about it, man. Oh. So, okay, moving on. You can't beat them. You can't, when it comes out with the truth, they don't know how to respond to the fucking truth. They're like, oh, but you're media and you're supposed to be on our side and not admit this. It doesn't make sense for any woman to support any of this. And now Antifa is different, but Antifa is being called a terrorist organization, which it really is with what they're doing in Oregon, Portland, Seattle, all over California. These riots that they're paid. These are paid protesters. They got a fund of money. It's like Sandy Hook. Remember Sandy Hook, the school shooting with the little kids? That was something else. I don't know what it was. I don't know the truth about that, but there was this loop in Sandy Hook, time loop. Sand is for time, hook is a loop. Okay, so a time loop, and there was a time loop in there. It was a replay, but it wasn't. because the people were slightly different, but it was supposed to be a live feed. People were coming out of one door and walking around the building and going back inside and coming out again. They're acting like all these people were coming out of there and everything. On Christmas Day, because don't forget, this is anti-Christ, this is anti-Christian, this is anti-white. If this doesn't get you as a smack in the face, on Christmas Day, there was a list of dozens and dozens of $250,000, $500,000 homes that got paid off. They got paid off. The mortgage got paid. How is it paid on Christmas Day? Okay, but they were. When Sandy Hook happened, that Christmas, a lot of people got free houses. That's a lot. What did you do to get that house? Right? These people are paid. They're getting set up on the taxpayers' money. It doesn't matter. It's like any cost. Any cost. It's like it's unlimited money. What else was I going to say? Okay, go back to Big Brother. I want to tell you about Big Brother again. They have this guy. He's creating chaos. It's the month of chaos or something like that. And the challenge was like, I think it was supposed to be a hotel. I don't know what the game was, but it was called the White Locust, not the White Lotus, like you would think it would say, like a flower. The White Locust. That is more mockery and insult to Christianity to say that white people are a plague upon the nations. That is exactly what the fuck that means. Is the world not listening to this shit? I don't know why people don't call this stuff out. Why am I the only one calling this kind of stuff out? I mean, I watch all these, I see what they're seeing, and I'm getting it, and I'm awake to all that. But there's other things I don't ever hear anybody talking about. The symbols and the propaganda, actual propaganda and what it's doing. Okay, because you know how Elmo. Now let's go to. I'm gonna wrap it up soon. I'm on a path here. The Muppets. Okay, so you got Kermit the Frog's Muppet movie. The Rainbow Connection, where him and all the Muppets, Miss Piggy, kissy, kissy, they all want to go to Hollywood. This is when I was a kid, you know? And that's where you go, to Hollywood, to be a star, and you can share your music and make millions of people happy. Yeah, I also remember not too many years after that, you know, like maybe 6, 7 years later, I was hearing all kind of stuff about people disappearing that went to Hollywood. A lot of people went there and they never were heard from again. That was back a long time ago. Like, as I entered into high school, I was hearing like people were getting lost in California. So, but just like that, propaganda was used. The rainbow was in there, right? The Rainbow Connection, Kermit the Frog. They are using now Elmo. Remember, like a year ago, I told you that they were sending Elmo to Saudi Arabia to teach gender identity stuff. Yeah. Well, in Gaza, what they're doing is using these cartoons. They're using a fake Mickey Mouse, you know. I've seen multiple children's videos. They're using them as propaganda. They had a room full of kids, and then they were asking them questions, and then there were other kids that were individually being asked questions. And what they were saying about the Jews is that they wanted to kill them, that they wanted to chop them in pieces. This is what they're teaching the kids in Gaza. They are training them to be child soldiers. That's what they're doing. Children across the, I don't want to say globe, oh no. Children across the world are being created into child soldiers. They are being groomed for this. So when you see these people coming out, they've been in it since childhood. This is their beliefs. You can't argue with them. I would rather argue with a drunk, and I do not argue with a drunk. And if I'll argue with you when you're sober for a minute, but I'm not even playing when you're drinking. It doesn't do any good. What is the point? You're going to aggravate yourself. You know what I mean? Might as well talk to the wall. Well, you just can't argue with people who have been programmed and groomed their whole entire life to believe this awful stuff. If I am programmed and groomed my whole life, it has been for good. How is Christ wrong? The energy of Christ is healing. He is the Messiah. You know, Jesus Christ fought the system. He was fighting the system. He was letting people know, like, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar. Take it all. Give it all to him. You don't need it. This is an electric universe. You control this. You create this reality. So if you control the creators of reality, then you control the world, right? And that's why propaganda is so big, to control the minds of the masses. There's a lot going on here. This woman is crazy. Okay, what she's saying, she's saying they're genociding fat people. Now, there's something, I heard Trump say today, he's about ready to announce the cause of autism. He didn't do it, and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to tell us. It's got to be the injections, or is it the food, or is it I don't know. But he's going to tell us. But this woman here, she's got it a little bit wrong, but let's just not worry about that. I don't support her. Let's not even look at her, you know. Well, her theory is that there's an attack on white people because Ozempic is having very severe side effects, and people are dying when they take it and finding severe health risks and everything. And she doesn't mention, and she's just saying, you know, what's wrong with fat people? It's, you know, genetic and all that. And what it really is you're being poisoned so that your body stores all this fat. You're being brainwashed, you know, subconsciously in your brain to want these sweets. You want it. It's addictive. They put things in the food to make you addicted to it, and then that food does not digest properly and stores up in the body, and you keep eating and eating, and because it's like the shampoo. You put shit in the shampoo that makes your hair fall out. Don't worry, because we got the cure right here. This is how this is going. We have been hit hard in this country, and the people that I see that are supporting this stuff, if there's not nanobots in their fucking head and 5G frequency beaming through their skull, telling them what to do and influencing them, then they might have prions disease, because I'm seeing symptoms of prions disease in some people. I think it'd be a good idea to get an MRI. A whole lot of these people, give them MRIs and find out what the hell is going on in your brain. Not your brain, adorables, but, just in general, people they really can't hold it together, and this is all they're about. It's all they're seeing. This is all I see anymore. This is all that comes up, and I keep watching it. I'm kind of done with seeing people in a state of psychological distress, emotional distress, and they're just freaking the fuck out. They're being defiant to the cops. For some reason, they associate Trump with, that mustache man in Germany. Oh my God, they are. That's how far off they are. But yet they can't say, they don't know what to say. I've never heard them defend Obama against the charges that Egypt put on him. They have an arrest warrant for Obama for genocide. But I don't hear the left ever talking about that. I've known this for years. I mentioned it a long time ago. I never hear anybody mentioning that shit. Okay? Wars have gone on. What's going on now is more than a fucking war. It's an annihilation. And Hamas is hitting Israel. And if Israel falls, we fall too. It's game over. And if that was happening, if somebody took over the state of Rhode Island or something and said, you know what, we got your people right here. And we're going to teach your kids to be against you, to fight you, because we're going to end you, because we want you all gone. What are we going to do? Well, Israel isn't firing upon the innocent people. And all the aid that goes in there, Hamas is taking. You have to do something to get it. That's the kind of control we're dealing with, and that's what is being pushed. So who the fuck is controlling these networks? Who is putting these people in place? Because you got to go up to the big dogs, because this is the true tyranny in our nation. And they don't know any better. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Right? They're following orders. They're following what they've been taught their whole fucking lives. They've been brainwashed. They've been groomed for this. They've been told they are superior. They are better in every way. And I think it's got to do with the 5G towers that are outside of the schools and the universities. And I think it's going directly into their fucking brains, because it could go through your skull. These frequencies are going through your skull. If you go through a brick wall and go through an elevator shaft, you don't need, there's no 5G chips in phones. They're not in the phone. They're in the heads. And maybe they're in my head too. Maybe I'm supposed to be on this side and it's a different kind of frequency. But you got the scalar waves over our head all the time. The frequencies in the clouds. That's not natural, but they wouldn't know it because they're not old enough to know what a real sky is. They think planes make clouds. Starbucks refuses to issue any orders with the name Charlie on it. They said the machine won't take it. Well, you know the symbolism on that, so I don't even have to mention that, but there you go. I don't know what the media is doing, but it's like you can't just shift sides. All these anchors and newscasters or whatever, you can't just shift sides, and now you're going to show me the other side when you're behind them. You're behind the other side, and now you're feeling the pressure and you want to act like that's crazy. Now it's crazy, but they're supporting it the whole time. The View, Whoopi Goldberg, excuse me, she got to come down. They got to pull that. I don't know how I haven't for a long time. I don't know how they're able to control that. And it's like, people were thinking she's bringing them the news. That's her personal opinion? No, it's not even that. That is her paid opinion. As an actor on the job, that is her paid opinion. Not her, it's the one she's getting paid to create and support that narrative. We are fucked. Because we're never going to wake them up. We're never going to wake them all up. They are our children. Lost to the Baphomet. Self-deportation wave hits Chicago as ICE cracks down on raids or whatever he's going to do. There's a lot of things going on here. But there it is right there. September 24th. Israel. It's called Everyone is Watching September 24th, Israel. Grace Digital Network. When they blow those trumpets. And you know that coincides with something they say is coming from space. But there's no such thing as space. See, God created this bubble. God created space and time within this bubble. Outside a bubble, I don't know what's out there. We're in here. God created space and time. And love is the only thing that transcends space and time. Love. That's Christ. Okay? But they're going to blow those trumpets. There it is right there. Three-Eye Atlas. What a name. What a name. Three-Eye Atlas is in danger. 100 times bigger object just arrived. And it's targeting Three-Eye Atlas. Like, what the fuck are we watching here? This is supposed to be real? No. It's a narrative. I don't believe in space like that. It is something else. And there's a lot I just saw. That was, let me go out like this. I just saw, okay, yeah, right here. Glitches in the Matrix by All Time. He's got a couple glitch videos in there where the sky, it's like there's a screen in front of the sky. Whether it's the bottom of a craft, it's very big. But you can see this, some of them, it's a screen. It's got straight angles, straight lines and right angles in the sky. And one side of the sky is different than the other. There's cloaking tech up there. Because let's not pretend we're in the Stone Ages, although we very well might be pretty soon. But we're not there right now. This tech is real. This tech exists. If they're creating it and they're telling us they got it, where do we think they're using it? Where do you think they're using it? On the masses. That's us. That's our children. That's the university. Pull your kids from school. If you've got kids or grandkids in school, pull them from school. Don't you dare trust these teachers. Don't you trust anybody to guard and protect your kid. You do it yourself. Pull them out of that school. Don't worry about the law because nobody else is. Nobody else is. And I'm seeing a lot of people go to jail for dumb shit. But yet they're releasing these criminals. That's on purpose. It's not about the law. That's their armies. They got tired of bailing them out. They got tired of paying the money to keep bailing their people out. So just make it for everybody to get out of jail free. Because even I had the thought in my mind after watching trains being robbed of Amazon packages and people getting all this free stuff. Even I had it in my mind. There are no more consequences. It's the consequences that have kept me from not pushing motherfuckers in front of buses and stuff like that. I got people that this one bitch I really wanted to. And I thought, no, there's another lifetime. I've already done that before. I'm not going to do it this time. This time I know better, and I'm not going to prison for the rest of my life. Not in this reality. No. No prison in this reality. But if you're not concerned about a sudden attack of thousands of organized, brutal men, an army, coming into your town and massacring you, like whatever happened at Sandy Hook, and they're gonna say it was a shooter. I don't know. All I know is the story isn't right. And a lot of people got free houses for that in a very nice neighborhood. So now that community, that's a whole community. If you control the community and you control the votes, well, then you're not going to say anything when somebody puts a black woman mayor in there. No, judges. The black women judges, there's a half a dozen of them that didn't even have an education. And they were judges. This is what I'm talking about. They couldn't do that in their own country, even with an education. But you're sending your kids to school to pay for an education, and what are they doing? They're fucking them up. You got to pull them out of the school. Why are you spending that money when people who don't have to go to school, they just get a free ride because they're a black woman that's in an organization that wants to take you down, and you keep sending your kids off to school. And I hope somewhere along the line, my kids understand that I got hit with the first wave, okay? Because Satan knows his enemies. Satan knows. That's how it goes. He could see the future, just like God. He could travel through time just like God. It's like a slipstream. You know, this AI can see the future. This is going to link with Satan somehow. Satan and Lucifer and demons and lesser gods and the Baphomet and the bull, some kind of bull god and unicorn demons and all this shit. I got hit with the first wave, and I couldn't do anything about it because it was an agenda, because it was a movement. And I fell victim to that, and my family fell victim to that, and I've been saying it for 20 fucking years. Longer than 20 years. Wake up, adorables. Because he is risen. Peace out.